Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. We did say we have Queens of the Stone Age tickets just about 10 minutes away now. We come out of the break as we're on our way to Case's movie review of Days of Thunder in honor of F1, that movie coming out with Brad Pitt this weekend. And after that, we'll have NASCAR tickets for next weekend's NASCAR race. So the next 45 minutes, a lot of great content and great free stuff for you. In the meantime, we flash back to the audio of the week. Kenzie was very excited about the Tesla robo-taxis in Austin. They launched those this week. And here's some audio of one of those taxis dropping off passengers. So basically, there's no one driving these taxis. And they're Tesla. They've been working on these for a while. They launched in Austin. And this is audio of people watching when one of these taxis just drops people off in the middle of an intersection. Not a great part to drop.
I'm actually going to use this drop-off early feature.
Oh, awesome.
Ooh, we are stuck a little bit in the intersection. He is stuck.
Uh-oh. Okay.
There it goes.
So it was a few seconds.
I do feel bad for him because he was definitely in the intersection.
Well, the car should have known to not stop there, right?
To not stop there, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess it's a drop-off early function, kind of like an Uber. You're just kind of like, I want to get out here.
Right.
But the thing doesn't know to pull over to the side, so it stopped in the middle of the street in the middle of an intersection, and then they couldn't get it going again. Not that great.
They're still working out some kinks.
Yeah, I don't know.
The concept is interesting, though, because what I've seen is that you can buy one of these, right? So you buy a car, let's say, I don't know, 30 or 40,000, whatever. Even if you, take a loan out, like if you can't pay that right away.
Just like you're buying a car for yourself.
Yeah. So buy it and then be like, I'm going to let it work 24/7. Like it's just an available Uber. So just working and at a minimum making your monthly payments until that's done and then bringing in hopefully money. So it could be like you could be on vacation and this car is like
earning you
making
money.
you money.
Yeah.
Right. So you could be asleep and this car is picking people up from the airport at 1 a.m, So it is an interesting concept of making money without working and having your money work for you, right?
Yeah,
it's interesting.
There's another system like that where you can buy cars kind of like Zipcar. Like you buy your cars, they're not robotless, but people can then use those cars, but you own the cars. I can't remember what it's called. There's one of the apps out there. I was thinking of doing that. For a minute there, I had these brainstorm genius ideas in the afternoon after a nap, and I'm like, I'm going to do that. And then I never do it.
And then you never do it.
And it's just, because I go well, that'll be really expensive. I can't buy 4 cars and then have people use them. But I was in a car with a guy one time, and he said he makes $10,000 a month off the cars he bought.
Yeah.
You just got to shove out the money
because
first to get the cars.
He doesn't have to work, so he bought it. Yeah. And the risk, it's kind of like the no risk, no reward sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Because it's but the people out there have their money working for them. And so I found this very interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. Just need some more money to make work.
Yeah, you just need to make some money work.
That's the problem. That's the rub.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Gave away a ton of 21 Pilots tickets over the last 2 weeks, Brian and Kenzie on Q101. But that show isn't this weekend. The weekend Q101, a lot this weekend for you to go see.
Tell them, Brian.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into it. Some of the stuff's free, and so you got to get out. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Case always starts with the music, so go for it.
The great thing is there's a bunch of music this week, and it's going to be much like last weekend, a really great weekend of live music in the city. The Roots are at Ravinia tonight. That is going to be a blast.
With all the Weird Al stuff, I kind of forgot the Roots were there tonight.
And then Al Green's there tomorrow.
Al Green's still alive?
I had the same thought, my friend.
What?
I thought, not only is he alive, he's touring. That's crazy.
He's only 79. Young whippersnapper. Yeah.
You will not find me working at 79.
Oh, come on. Those smooth hits. That's a good triple threat at Ravinia this weekend.
It's certainly every night's different.
I mean, you got the Roots, Al Green, and Weird Al on Sunday. Wow. That's amazing. And Weird Al sold out that Q101 show. We gave away tons of those this week, too.
Yeah, so like I said, the Roots at Ravinia tonight. Dave Matthews Band, which Brian will talk about here more in just a second. They're at Northerly Island tonight and tomorrow. There's a great Chicago band, sort of one of the new exciting bands, is this band called Lifeguard. They are playing Thalia Hall tomorrow night for their album release show. As we go throughout the year, I think that's a name people are going to hear more and more. Very loud, very noisy guitar rock, but this band Lifeguard is from here. They're picking up a lot of steam. People are really excited about them. Obviously, Weird Al at Ravinia on Sunday. That is sold out. And then a bunch of great music going on with Pride festivals all over the city this weekend. So if you're out at Pride, please have a great time.
Whoa, sorry about that.
Are you trying to drown out my pride statement? What was that?
No. Technical difficulty.
You said over my damn back.
I told everybody have a good time at Pride. I want to leave it at that.
I will be there. I will be there, my friend. All right, Kenzie, what do you got on the weekend Q101?
Okay, you know what I'm going to talk about. I'm sure you know. Tacos and Tequila Fest. Very on brand. So that, let me point out, just Friday and Saturday, muy importante, if you will take it that way, okay? Because a lot of people think these things happen Sunday, including me. So this is only happening Friday and Saturday. Tonight kicks off at 5 and goes till 10. And then Saturday it starts actually as early as 11 and goes till 10. So that's super, super fun. There's tons of different vendors there. Obviously lots of tacos and other Hispanic dishes. And then a lot of tequila pairings and tastings, which is really fun.
Very fun and can lead to bad decisions.
Hell yeah.
Which is a good thing. So, yes, I'll be at Dave Matthews Band tomorrow night. It's tonight and tomorrow at Northerly Island. Most shows are when they open up on the grass area of Northerly Island. So you see like 20, 30,000 people out there. It's going to be out fantastic. Another show we gave away tons of tickets to. Can't say we didn't give you a lot of free stuff over the last several weeks. So Dave Matthews Band tomorrow night. I will see you there. We all know the prices are high for alcohol. I always like to say I'll buy you a drink, but I don't know. I might be short. I don't know.
Now, if you see Brian have a buy you a drink, he can afford it.
Oh, sure. Counting my money over here.
I am. You can afford it. Somebody sees you, your big, tall ass at Dave Matthews Band, you can buy him a drink.
The good
Yeah,
thing
it's too bad you're not more like hideable, huh?
I will
like
say,
a beacon.
I've seen Dave Matthews Band multiple times, and he himself is actually pretty tall. There's a lot of taller fans there. I know I'm 6'4".
You think he draws in tall people?
I think he does. I think he does. I don't know.
I mean, I'm 5'2" and I've never gone, so maybe you're right.
Maybe you should come along and you can hide.
I've never felt welcome there. Maybe that's why.
It's an inclusive environment. So I'll be there tomorrow night. But again, there's tickets so for tonight and tomorrow. And we failed to add to the list here, of course, tonight, going to that White Sox game. And if you stay till the end, this is what I was trying to get to when we were talking about the Pride Parade.
I was talking about the Pride Parade. Everybody be safe and have a good time at Pride.
I didn't mean to overdo it, but...
What do we got? Hey.
If you stay at the White Sox game all the way through to the end, Florida performing afterwards.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Again, I gotta say, I don't know if I could sleep at night if I wrote this song and know how good a songwriter I am. You know, All right, what's your takeaway from today's show? In fact, it's Friday all week, 312-591-8300. A takeaway can come from Monday's show, from Tuesday's show, or today's show, whatever. 312-591-8300. Get your takeaways in from Brian and Kenzie and Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren coming in, take you through the rest of this glorious Friday. Enjoy your weekend. It starts right here with Q101 all day long. Lauren, Brian Phillips, right through getting the Friday night and eventually Florida. This is 3. Case, what's on? What takeaway you got?
That wasn't even a joke. You just made yourself laugh
I
on
know.
top.
I
You got
really
the
did.
giggles.
I really did. I just can't believe I didn't know Florida was closing out the White Sox game
What's his
tonight.
name?
Florida.
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 You really have an inflection on that.
Florida.
It's like Pacino's doing it in Heat all of a sudden.
Let me tell you something. I want to say Florida, baby.
The Foo Fighters. That's what you sound like.
All right, takeaways at 312-591-8300 from the whole week of shows or today's show. Case, what do you got?
Tony in Lindenhurst has a takeaway. He's always got a good one. His from the week is, quote, "I'm over here now?" Which is from our Mariano's conversation about the
Over here
Mariano's
now.
closing in the suburbs this week.
And the whitest way ever said, I'm over here now. I'm over here now, huh?
Yeah.
I'm over here now?
Try to do it like Pacino.
I'm over here now? I could really get into a Pacino.
Baby.
I told you when we started hooking up, baby.
All right. Kenzie, what do you got?
Angel texted in and said, Brian, with no context at all, I'm stunned by this Sophie Rain girl.
So you heard of this gal, Sophie Rain?
Can you do Johnny Carson talking about Sophie Rain real quick?
I'll give you a gift before the weekend here. Johnny Carson, rest in peace, talking about Sophie Rain. So, Ed, have you heard about this Sophie Rain gal? She made $76 million on this OnlyFans thing. Yes, sir. All right. That's for the 4 people out there that wanted it besides Case. All right, finally, takeaway. This comes from 219. Takeaway. It doesn't matter if Kenzie dresses like a wizard or Brian wears a mankini. They're going to end up looking like a monkey effing a football.
I had sponsors in the stands, and I'm hugging and holding hands and kissing them in the ear and praying for a good showing. And what do? We end up looking like a monkey f***ing a football out there.
We got to add that to the drop machine.
I'm trying to think
That's our boss talking to us about our show.
We end up looking like a monkey f***ing a football out there.
Can't you see Brian and I getting yelled at like that?
All you guys have to do was Ticket Butts Thursday instead.
We end up looking like a monkey f***ing a football out there.
Well, Brian pushes the button. It was Brian's fault.
All right, Case, what's on the wonderful podcast?
A controversial episode of Clash with Kenzie today. These Weird Al tickets really brought out the fiercest competitors. If you did not hear that today at 7:10, you're going to want to go back and listen to that. Also, Brian, he claims to be a man of the people. I have to give him credit. Brian went on a passionate tirade this morning about something that's costing everyone too much money. I am proud of Brian for speaking up, for speaking his truth. If you missed that monologue, that is on the Brian and Kenzie podcast. And if you're wondering where that monkey audio came from, it is from my review of Days of Thunder, 35th anniversary today, the Tom Cruise movie about NASCAR. We reviewed that this morning at 8 o'clock. Boy, what a fun one that was.
Tomorrow morning, 8 to 10, we have our throwbacks, which are some of these funniest moments of the week on the radio. So on 101.1, on Q101.
On the radio.
The podcast, anytime you want, is available to you. The Brian and Kenzie podcast full show, like Kenzie's Crimes, all on there, and the Case movie reviews, all that, anytime you want, anywhere you want. You can listen to it, the smart speaker, the app, whatever. It's really easy. You can't screw up listening to the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
End up looking like a monkey f***ing a football out there.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.